What's up, squad? It's your Squid, aka the Anxious Squid, here at Anxious Squid Productions. If this is the first video of this 5-part series that you've clicked on, I suggest you go and click into my motorsport playlist and click on the number 1 video first, part 1, and then move your way through, because this is part 5 in a 5-part series on the documentary 3 Before February, which is a NASCAR documentary, as I said, in my motorsport playlist. These guys are my patrons. They're really cool. Please consider becoming one. I would love it if you were one of my patrons. Money is cool. I like money. Turning some of your money into mine would be amazing. But yeah, we've got about 10-15 minutes left to go in the documentary. This will be the last part of it. Let's just dive straight in, shall we? Play the title, Jules. Don't mind me talking to myself there. I'm Jules, just talking to future/past me, depending on, you know, when you're seeing this. Time is an amazing concept. But yeah, 3 Before February, we're 1 hour and 7 minutes and 18 seconds into 1 hour, 24 minutes and 16 seconds. So let's do it, shall we?
Questions are raised.
We know what we need to do. My answer to that, strap your butt in there at 220 mile an hour in the straightaway and have something go wrong, hit the wall head on, and tell me if you like to have some cushion down there. Well, I tell you, I would.
Softball technology used.
Oh, that's the
tested, but without
Jeff Gordon one where he got out on the car. Was it Gordon or Jimmy Johnson?
Various safety
Can't remember.
measures tried, but once again the monster raises its ugly head. An announcement is made.
We know how to slow cars down. We've done it at Daytona and Talladega for the same reason, where the cars became too fast for the track. And we know how to do that, and we do that with restrictor plates.
The dreaded plate is bolted on. Opinions fly.
I don't know how to work.
I think it's a good idea.
You hit the wall at 160 or 180 and me. You know, it don't matter. Let's go up there and go race and see what happens.
Yeah.
Engine builders spring into action and burn the midnight oil in the push to squeeze research, development, and production into a scant few days.
And we know we have to build something kind of in between what we've always built, so we just kind of, you have no time to do it, so it's pretty much a stab in the dark.
So many questions, so much at stake. 43 teams are poised to enter the unknown.
The Cup Series races at Loudon this weekend, Kyle. I'm sure people would like to know your thoughts on that track and the safety issues that have come up about it.
Yeah, you know, and I probably thought as much or more than a lot of people have on the issue. I don't blame Loudon at all at the racetrack. The Bears are some of the greatest people in the world, as you know, and anybody that's ever dealt with them. You know, and talking to Bob, he had an incredibly hard time. He and I had a good conversation right after it happened, and they're just great people. But, you know, is the racetrack dangerous? Tough question. There were 10 million miles there, nothing ever happened, you know, and all of a sudden you have 2 wrecks, you know, within a short period of time, so everybody's up in arms. Can we be safer? Yeah. Can the racetracks be safer? Yes.
September 15th, the Winston Cup Series is back in New Hampshire for opening practice. Tony Stewart wears a helmet painted like Irwin's and seeks a season sweep at the track. Jack Roush reports his Cup Series drivers will carry his automatic dumb switch that was tested at Richmond. Joining them will be Ricky Rudd, Bobby Labonte, Tony Stewart, and Elliott Sadler. Roush has 14 more of the switches available for the 35 remaining drivers entered in the race. By October 1st, he'll have enough for a full 43-car field.
Nice.
The opening practice comes and goes without serious incident. Bobby Labonte wins the pole. Steve Grissom just misses the cut in Kyle Petty's car.
Okay.
Ted Musgrave qualifies 11th with what was once Kenny Irwin's team, matching Irwin's own season-best start at Dover.
In the wake of 2 fatal accidents here, last week NASCAR mandated the use of restrictor plates to slow the cars down. Restrictor plates had never been used on Winston Cup cars at New Hampshire or even a track like this, and that has opened wide the gates of the great unknown. Teams have struggled with engine combinations, chassis setups, transmissions, and gear choices. Engines are down 300 horsepower. As a result, fuel mileage is up. Some teams can go 25 laps further than ever before.
Wow. All right.
Some adapted Daytona engines to here. Others adapted unrestricted engines to a plate. Everyone is running a combination they never ran before. Talk in the garage today is that the race could go to someone experienced and successful in cars with less power. NASCAR Busch Series cars, someone like Mark Martin. go to those who have expended extraordinary effort, like Steve Park and Jeff Burton, who tested at a similar track in Milwaukee. All hope that their car will be fastest, but mostly all hope that the race will be safe. Just let them race safe.
On Sunday, defending race winner Joe Nemechek climbs from 30th to 9th. John Andretti starts 31st and finishes 7th. But outside pole sitter Jeff Burton leads all 300 laps and wins under caution, NASCAR's first flag-to-flag performance since 1978. No one else is all that happy, but everyone involved feels like they dodged a bullet.
There's the names: Barfield, Martin, Shepard. Yeah, Morgan Shepard missed the race again. You can see it. It's averaged 11 drivers per race for the last 5 events now. 55 guys have gone home.
5 days after the New Hampshire race, Tony Roper fails to qualify for the Truck Series race at Dover, one of 11 drivers sent home. His next attempt will be in 3 weeks at Texas. The O'Reilly 400 is the next to last race on the truck schedule, where Greg Biffle carries a 290-point lead over Mike Wallace for the championship. Roper qualifies 15th in the field, while 8 drivers are sent home, including Morgan Shepard and Carl Long. On lap 2, Roper misses a 10-truck pileup on the backstretch. On lap 26, he's in 17th, 18 seconds back of the lead, and closing on a pack of trucks.
That is Tony Roper in the Mittler Brothers truck, and it is torn up. Now there's flames coming out of the underneath side, and the window net is not down. That is the signal to officials that he is okay. Meanwhile, the other truck involved for sure was the 43 of Steve Grissom. There may have been one other one. You can see parts all over the front straightaway. It's our second caution of this race.
Mike Midler, whose pit stall is directly across from the accident scene, doesn't think the wreck is too bad. But Dean Roper, spotting for his son from the tower overlooking the track, doesn't hear Tony over the radio. He joins the family in rushing to the hospital. Emergency crews end up cutting a hole in the roof and lifting Roper out on a backboard. He's transported by ambulance out of the track. By the time he reaches Parkland Hospital, it's clear how serious the injury is. The impact has broken his neck and stopped the flow of blood to his brain. He's breathing with the help of a respirator.
The weekend in racing began with tragedy. NASCAR Truck Series driver Tony Roper suffered fatal injuries during Friday's O'Reilly 400 in Fort Worth after a head-on crash into the wall at Texas Motor Speedway. Roper was trying to maneuver through traffic when he touched another truck and lost control on the 32nd lap of the event. He passed away on Saturday, the first fatality in the 3.5-year history of the track.
At 11:55 a.m. the next day, Roper dies at age 35. Without a basilar skull fracture, as in Petty and Irwin, the impact is similar in speed and angle, and the injury is similar to Scott Baker's fatal injury at the ARCA race at Toledo back in June. Roper's death is another shock of reality to the NASCAR community. A third different driver is killed from a head-on impact with the outside wall. This time, it's not at New Hampshire, and not during...
Like, it's almost enough to make you pack it in, huh? It's almost enough. Like, if you were the owner of NASCAR, or you were owner of one of the things, you know, you just... Like, that's full on, you know what I mean? And, like, I can understand why there are such... Like, why there's such passion in this sport now, you know what I mean? Because of everything that we've all gone through together to try and make it the best sport it can be, you know? But anyway, I'll let it finish before I keep talking.
The issue is now clearly more than a track with a treacherous turn. It is something that could happen anywhere, at any time, to any driver. While this makes Roper's death perhaps the most critical of the three, it is nevertheless overlooked. Because the very next day, this happens.
Oh, fucking, there we go.
$7 million and $1 million bonus for Dale Earnhardt as they hang on. The no-qualified contender, Mr. Restrictor race, Dale Earnhardt comes down and will take his trip to the real victory.
Alright, so Earnhardt wins at Talladega.
After Earnhardt's win, Tony Roper's memorial service is held in the gymnasium at the Fairgrove High School, where Roper graduated in 1983. More than 600 people attend. In the days that follow, Roper's website receives more than 1,600 messages and emails, so many that the webmaster has to start a third message board.
Wow.
He wasn't ever going to make Cup, and he had resigned himself to that, says Tony's uncle Dale Roper. But like movie stars, very few make it at the very top level. But you can still make a very good living by being a supporting actor.
Absolutely.
His racing families, past and present, converged on his hometown of Fairgrove, Missouri, to say goodbye. In all, over 3,000 people paid their respects. Tony Roper was well liked,
and he was well remembered. At the funeral, his wife Michelle bravely addressed us and reminded, Tony always saw the best in everything, and Tony Roper loved everyone. Thanks, Tony, for sharing your life with so many of us.
Wow, huh?
A week after Roper's accident, the Busch Series Ladies Association distributes decals in memory of Roper that run on the Busch Series cars at Rockingham, then again for the Truck Series finale at Fontana. The Mittler team doesn't run that week. It returns for the 2001 season opener at Daytona. Larry Gunselman debuts a new truck number, 63. In this race and in each one for the next 17 years, every one of Mittler's trucks will carry Roper's name.
That's
There's
nice.
no doubt in my mind that he would have been a superstar as a crew chief, says Mittler. He had the knowledge and the work ethic. On October 22nd, Kyle and Patty Petty found the Victory Junction gang camp. It's the 7th in an international network of hole-in-the-wall gang camps which serve children with life-threatening illnesses. Located in Level Cross on property donated by Richard and Linda Petty, the completed facility features a large building that resembles Adam's colorful spree car.
That's dope.
The next day, Tony Roper is laid to rest in Fairgrove. By season's end, Kyle makes 2 more Cup attempts, this time at Adam's number 45. He makes the show at Martinsville and finishes 31st, then misses the field at Homestead. Both times he runs the Pontiac that was brought to Charlotte, leaving Adams Chevrolet in the shop. Kyle's next attempt will be in a Dodge for the 2001 Daytona 500. Also among the Dodges will be a rookie, Jason Leffler, in the Chip Ganassi number 01. With Bell South merged into Tech Firm Singular, the team Leffler will drive for will be completely unrecognizable from the one Irwin drove just 7 months earlier.
Yeah, fair enough.
Over the offseason, NASCAR makes no new mandates regarding driver safety. While the stuck throttle issue has been addressed without being acknowledged, the rise in basilar skull fractures is not. On January 13, 2001, during preseason testing at Daytona, others take the initiative. A consultant speaks to Ford drivers, suggesting changes to their seatbelt systems in the Hans device, even offering to pay the bill for any driver wanting to order a Hans.
Wow.
Among the few who pick up this offer are Ricky Craven and rookie Andy Houston, now teammates at PPI Motorsports.
Nice.
Ford also holds a meeting with Dr. Robert Hubbard, the professor of biomedical design research who is part of developing the Hans. He states that both Adam Petty and Kenny Irwin Jr. could have survived their accidents if they used this device.
That's a big call.
Despite these rumblings, NASCAR is still reluctant to mandate the Hans, and Mike Helton states he doesn't plan on making a decision for a few weeks.
So Earnhardt doesn't use Hondas and then they mandate it.
On January 30th, we just haven't seen anything yet that's not got something with it that gives us concern. Larry Woody, a veteran writer for the Tennessean, expresses his frustration over a lack of response by NASCAR. All the talk and attention that swirled around the issue of NASCAR safety last year seems to have cooled, unfortunately. It shouldn't take another racetrack tragedy to refocus attention on the matter.
Absolutely, it
shouldn't lag in trying to find ways to build safer track walls, reliable ways to prevent stuck throttles, dependable helmets and harnesses. What were sizzling issues in the wake of last year's driver fatalities seems to have been all but forgotten amid the excitement swirling around the start of a new season and the attendant Daytona 500 dazzle.
That's insane. Yeah, absolutely.
The article goes to print on February 6, 2001.
It's almost prophetic, isn't it?
12 days before the 43rd Daytona 500. It falls on deaf ears.
Yeah, I bet it
This
did.
is undoubtedly one of the toughest announcements that I've ever personally had to make. But after the accident and turn forward at the end of the Daytona 500, we've lost Dale Earnhardt.
Over the last 2 decades, NASCAR has advanced the narrative that today's push...
Doesn't matter how many times I see that scene, like that person saying that, I just feel for him, you know what I mean?
Safety began with these words. An unthinkable tragedy followed by unprecedented action, creating a sport made better by lessons learned and measures taken. The Hans device, safer barriers, the car of tomorrow. Earnhardt's legend is allowed for this. When we lost the Intimidator, the tragedy was already so massive in scale. A larger-than-life driver dying in the sport's biggest race.
It's a big deal.
An ordinary accident. But the more we've replayed it in our collective memory, it's grown impossibly larger. It's now treated as though free from context, separate and apart from the 3 clear warnings that came before it. To this day, NASCAR continues to have a hard time dealing with the harshest realities of its sport. At the NASCAR Hall of Fame, the only monument to the 82 drivers who have died at NASCAR sanctioned competition is a copy of the Earnhardt Report under glass. One volume open to the first page, its statement of facts laying out nothing more than the story we already know. It's as if no other driver had ever died in all of NASCAR history. But to deny history this way is to be doomed to repeat it. And that is what happened on February 18th, 2001.
Yeah, evidently.
It happened again on October 4th. Blaze Alexander, once a development driver for Team Sabco,
right into the
Gary
wall.
Earnhardt while battling for the lead at Charlotte. Alexander slams the wall nearly head-on, practically identical to the crash that killed Tony Roper less than a year earlier. It's just as identical an outcome. Alexander dies at 25.
Fuck!
While the death happens in ARCA, it is this accident, and not the 4 before it, that finally convinces NASCAR to mandate the Hans device.
Jeez. That's intense.
I have a picture hanging up in my office. It shows Robert Yates putting on the 28 jacket on Kenny. I knew that all the work and all the sacrifices we had made, everything was paid in full. Just right there on that moment. And it was the great experience of my life. It wasn't a race that he'd won or a qualifying that he'd set down or anything else. It was just watching Robert Yates put that 28 jacket on Kenny.
After Kenny Owens Jr.'s death, his parents discover how philanthropic he was in life. Families tell them how he had paid hospital bills and sent their children to camp. A friend recalls Irwin giving an old man his expensive sunglasses just because he had sun in his eyes. Wow, huh? Irwin's efforts inspire his parents to start a camp for underprivileged children. As the part of the Kenny Irwin Jr. Foundation, they rebuild an old campground in Newcastle, Indiana. The Dare to Dream camp runs for 7 years before the Irwins' declining health forces them to sell it in 2011. The foundation lives on today, though.
His enthusiasm, everything. His desire, his smile, his touch, everything.
Kyle Petty continues to drive Adams' number 45 in Cup until Petty Enterprises closes its doors in 2008, and he retires from the competition. Kyle and wife Patty divorced in 2012. 3 years later, Kyle marries Morgan Castano. Morgan gives birth to Kyle's 4th child, Overton, in 2018. Through it all, the Victory Junction Gang Camp continues to thrive. Since opening in 2004, the camp has helped thousands of children and their families. As part of this year's 15th anniversary of Victory Junction, Bubba Wallace runs an Adam Petty throwback scheme at Darlington. For more on Victory Junction's efforts, visit whatever that website was. I didn't read it in time.
20 and the great veteran Dean Roper from Missouri and the Mueller brothers, 89.
On August 19, 2001, Dean Roper races on his son's memory. He starts his 12th ARCA race at Springfield at age 62. On lap 17, Roper crashes on the front stretch. When crews arrive, they find he has died of a heart attack. Wow. At Eldora in 2015, Bobby Pierce gives Mike Mittler his only top 5 finish. Mittler passes away in 2019. His 63 is currently owned by DJ Kopp. A scholarship has been founded in Tony's memory, Tony Roper Scholarship Fund. The film is dedicated to Adam Petty, Kenny Owen Jr., Tony Roper, and all others who have lost their lives in pursuit of victory. You are not forgotten. Far out, huh? Oh, we've only got like 10 more seconds of credits. We can have the credits. Shout out to his Patreon members as well. Join my Patreon if you can. There are some sources as well if you want to see them. That was, yeah, I'm glad I watched that. I'm glad you guys suggested it. That was a wild ride. It's a 5-parter. I'm not sure if I'll get it all up tonight. Hopefully I will get it all up tonight and you guys all have been on the ride with me. I promise I won't upload the first part unless I'm sure I can upload the 5th part as well. You'll have already watched all of them by the time I'm saying this, so that's a bit of an empty promise, isn't it? Yeah, wow, I feel like I have a richer understanding of the sport now as well, you know, and thank God for those Hans devices. Ryan Newman would have been dead like earlier this year. Old mate that hit the wall at Kansas would have been dead for sure without him. Like it's a good thing in my opinion that they're there. You know what I mean? These guys are my patrons. They're really cool. Please consider becoming a patron as well. I've said all the patron stuff in every video of this one, so you know how it works. That's them. Check them out. They're really cool. You're cool too. Please be cool as well. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up now and get on with editing and try and get them all out to you tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. This was really, really cool. Yeah, I'll see you when I look at you. You'll see me when you look at me. Have a poke around the channel. Watch some other stuff. Give me some other watch minutes. I'm trying to get as many as I can in before the end of this month. Thanks for watching.